Hello, everyone out there. This is AJ from Late Night Productions. I've decided to come to you today with streaming a little bit of Subnautica, a game I've actually really fallen in love with since my friend got me into it, God, months and months and months ago. I decided now that I've got a brand new PC, time to play this with actually decent graphics. So, here we go.
You're welcome for that, by the way.
Oh, by the
Also,
way, this is my friend Ashtar. He's the one who helped me get the game. Hi, Ashtar.
hello there.
I thought you weren't
As
coming in till later.
well, I was gonna say to everyone that I myself, as someone who loves the ocean, when this game first came out, I fell in love with it. So I just thought I should give the experience to someone else.
Yeah, and he gave it to me, but at the time my PC couldn't run it that well, and it kept crashing. But now that I have a new PC, I can play it and actually enjoy it decently. So anyway, here we go. That's a big ship. I wonder how many actually were on it.
Are you sure you're live streaming it?
I should be.
I keep refreshing our page, but it doesn't say you're live.
Hold on. Because I don't want to alt-tab out if I don't have to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Go to my channel. I can't subscribe to my own channel. That's sad. I'm joking. Yeah, it says there's one person watching right now. I have it on my feed.
So the first step in making a giant burrito is to
Go away.
Wait a minute.
Go away.
Interesting then.
Yeah, it's a little behind, but yeah, I have it going right now.
Interesting.
Are you clicked onto the channel, or are you actually looking at my channel like from a search bar?
Going right now.
Interesting.
Are you clicked onto the channel, or are you actually looking at my channel like from a search bar?
I have your channel under my subscription, so...
Just keep trying to get it, because I am live streaming right now. I am going to...
Yeah, I hear the echo.
I'm trying to get rid of that echo. I'm sorry. I will not click anything until you can get into the stream.
Yeah, I hear the echo.
I'm trying to get rid of that echo. All the way down. Okay. Hopefully you'll be able to find it soon. Oh, there we go. Leave my... you always look up the title of the Let's Stream. I mean, sorry anyone who's watching, by the way. We're having some technical difficulties trying to get Ashtar to be able to watch the chat for me. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I'm still new to live streaming. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I know. Ugh. Any luck?
No.
Oh, I don't want it to do this, but... Uh-oh. Apparently something bad happened to the ship.
Yeah.
Well, this won't end well.
Nope.
Things are being knocked about.
Oh, they should have secured things better.
Ow! That was a thing to the head. That hurt.
That was an OSHA hazard if I've ever seen one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, definitely more so now.
Uh-huh. It's like open, goddammit. Well, this is a fiery way to start the episode. See what I did there?
So funny, I forgot to laugh.
Fire! Fire bad! Fire very bad. Tap, tap, tap. Burning emergency mode. Altera. You know, I thought things loaded left to right, not right to left.
This is considered an optimal outcome.
How is...
CDA has now rebooted in emergency mode with one directive: to keep you alive on an alien world.
How is head trauma a good thing?
For detailed survivor advice.
Alright, I'm going to pause it for a second. Do you need the link, by the way?
Yeah,
1 second, let me do it this way.
because YouTube's being a butt.
Yeah, 1 second, folks, while I help my friend here. Pause it. Copy. Text. Paste. There you go. Anyway, this looks like a giant mess. Okay, just a fabric.
Okay, there it is.
Okay. Wouldn't it be better to climb the ladder from this direction?
Not entirely sure.
Let's see what's up here. Ugh. Well, that happened. That is a very destroyed ship.
Yep.
The Aurora suffered orbital pulse failure. Cause unknown. 0 human life signs detected.
That's just sad. There's no one out there but me? What is that?
Well, friend. Only one way to find out, and I think I already know what that is.
Geronimo! Oh, so pretty. Look how pretty this is.
Okay, so there's a coral tube.
Oh.
Yeah, that can happen.
Oh my god, you remember how this was with my old computer?
Yeah, so since no one here knew the difference, Amber's old computer had to run this game on the lowest settings. But running this game on the lowest settings causes some weird anomalies to happen, such as that coral to fall through the floor of the world.
Peeper!
Like
Peeper!
9 times out of 10.
New creature discovered.
And that coral is important for things later, so it kind of just caused a lot of issues.
Ooh. Ah! I need to breathe!
Yeah, also you should probably take a look at that meter on your bottom left.
You
So,
Anyway, go ahead.
there are 3 meters there. Your oxygen, well 4. Your oxygen, which is always starting at 45 and goes down by 3 for every second you spend under
Fish.
the water.
Fish, fish,
You
fish.
have a slight grace period after you hit 0 before you pass out.
Yeah,
When you
I've...
pass out, you're immediately transported back to your life pod, and you lose certain items in your inventory.
Which is a pain.
Your red meter with the heart is health. The only way to lose this is by getting attacked by hostile enemies. There are only a handful. There's quite a bit in the game, but you really shouldn't worry about your health that much. The yellow and the blue meter are what's most important. The yellow meter is food, and the blue meter is water. The water meter will deplete faster than the food, much like how you have to drink water more than you have to eat.
Yeah, because without water, we basically be shriveled up husks.
Hmm So you have to constantly keep your water and your food full.
I should make this, yes?
Yes. So there are certain things.
Oxygen!
Yep. So making the tank increases your oxygen to 75, and it will also give you a blueprint for a better one.
Which I can use later,
Yes.
once I get some of this stuff.
Yep. So throughout the game, you'll be making things which sometimes will give you blueprints for better versions.
Mm-hmm.
And these better versions, of course, will take a lot more materials or harder to find materials.
Whee!
So many of the materials you're seeing right now, like the titanium from the scraps and things like that, are very common and easy to find. But things like glass and other things like that are a little harder to get.
Ooh, you're pretty.
Of course, just because there are edible fish in this game doesn't mean everything's edible, and doesn't mean everything should just be approached.
That thing looks interesting. I almost said entertaining.
So, those mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Those
Ooh.
mushrooms are important.
Ooh.
A lot of things are.
Look at this.
And what our gracious host is looking at is a fragment of something for later. There are fragments scattered about in certain biomes all over DC.
Oh.
These fragments, you have to scan with a tool that, with a scanner tool. Upon scanning these fragments, you will get a single part of that fragment. Sometimes things only need to be scanned once, and usually they're decorative. But some things need to be scanned up to 2 to 3 times, or have different fragments that each need to be scanned 2 to 3 times.
What is this?
That's a bladderfish. At least that's what it's supposed to be called in game. Bladderfish are nice.
What do they do? Well, do I want to know what they do?
Bladderfish are full of air. Due to their weird membranous...
Can you English?
yeah, membranous... Exactly. Sac you have right there. You can filter water through them. They're one of the few... They're the only thing in the sea that you can get water from other than salt and a combination of something else.
I gotta see what that is later.
It's probably just a coral tube. Coral tubes tend to sometimes in the shallows, so the biome Amber's in right now.
AJ.
Sorry. AJ.
I don't like
AJ's
giving out my real name.
Sorry. AJ is in right now. It's called the Safe Shallows. It's called this because there's nothing hostile.
Yet.
No, nothing hostile ever spawns in the Safe Shallows.
Unless you mod it in somehow.
Unless you mod it in or use some cheats.
I'm gonna see what that is. It's probably far away from where I need to be, but hey.
But the Safe Shallows is a good source of mushrooms, titanium from scrap, and fish.
Lots of fish.
It's also a good source of copper from sandstone outcroppings.
Ooh.
So whenever you find an outcropping like AJ did a few minutes ago, it can be one of a few things depending on what kind of outcropping it is.
Oh.
Right now we only have access to limestone, which is which can drop copper or titanium.
Well, that was fun. More salvage.
Yep.
All the salvage.
Salvage takes up 4 squares instead of 1. So if AJ opens up her inventory,
Yeah, I see
as
it.
you can see, it's in a square grid system. This is important to note for later because certain things will take up more squares on the grid, such as salvage taking up 4, while titanium and copper themselves only take up 1. Some things will take up to 6 squares on the grid.
Oh my god, the graphics are so pretty. Look at these graphics! Sorry, I'm kind of a sucker for good graphics.
Yep.
Anyway, back to my ship.
Yeah, so managing resources is extremely important.
I need to make stuff instead of actually just... 'Cause I know I need to make something to fix the sparky thing next to me.
Yes, but you need a certain ingredient in that that's not easy to get. I'll tell you what it is.
Hmm?
It is powder.
Hmm.
It is powder from a fish you hate.
Oh, yes.
So Ember has... Sorry, AJ.
Oh, wait, there's stuff in here.
AJ has played this game before.
I have. Back on the other computer.
She was unable to finish it.
I thought I finished it. Did I?
You did on your new computer, but on your old computer you were unable to.
Oh, that's right.
But she is still going in particularly lines because she's only finished it once.
And there's probably stuff... Why do I keep doing that?
There's a lot of stuff that she hasn't seen, and if someone who has, well, finished
Been
this
there,
game,
done that.
been there, done that, since this game,
Oh.
before this game had an ending.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
were a beta tester, right?
I was one of the few people who had the open beta.
I mean,
And
you?
I've been playing this game since then. So I know a lot about this game.
This fish looks so... What is that?
That's nothing dangerous, don't worry about it.
I worry about every little sound.
That sound in particular should just be the gastropods.
What's a gastropod?
Those weird, if anyone's seen sort of manatees or dugongs, that weird sort of thing with the glowing pustules on its back.
I would, but I'm afraid to go far from my ship right now.
Yeah, so that weird thing that AJ saw a while ago with the weird green on its back, that looks like a manatee or dugong with a weird protrusion on its face. Those are called gastropods. I don't know why they're called gastropods, because that's another way of... That's, you know, snails and shit. But...
I thought it was gasopods.
Yeah. So, they in particular are the first... Not enemy, but the first creature that you'll encounter that's considered neutral. There are three types of creatures: passive, neutral, and hostile. Neutral creatures are creatures that, while they won't attack you directly, they will try to defend themselves. Gastropods in particular will release a bunch of, to their name, gas pods around them, behind them, from their rear. These pods will do quite a bit of damage, and if you stay in them for long periods of time, will kill you. Because they will do damage as long as you're in the field of gas.
Poison.
Yep. There aren't a lot of neutral, and there's not a lot of neutral creatures in this game, and the gastropod is only one of the few that there are in this game. Most other creatures tend to be either passive or hostile.
Like peepers are passive.
Peepers are passive, and all food fish are passive.
Ooh.
The only other creature that is considered neutral is a really rare creature that I doubt we will ever encounter.
I need oxygen. I was so busy
Yeah.
listening to you that I
You don't
kind of
have
forgot.
gills. As much as you want to have gills, you don't have them.
Oh, this place is pretty.
This is the Creepvine Forest. This place in particular is where you can find your first hostile fish.
Oh,
It's
God.
also a good place for Creepvine and their seeds. Creepvine in itself is very useful and can be used as a very early game food, as it'll give you a good amount of food and water. But I wouldn't recommend eating too much of it because it can cause you to have inexplicable blood loss, which reduces your water and food by quite a bit.
Did you hear that?
What?
I heard something.
Oh, that's probably a stalker. So, the hostile fish in this particular type of area is called a stalker. It's kind of hard to describe what they look like when you're not using a prehistoric fish as a comparison.
We'll see them probably once it's more daylight out.
Yes. Stalkers live up to their name and will follow you. They also like shiny things. So they will go after pieces of scrap.
Oh, speaking of the gasopods.
Yeah, that's a gastropod. Don't get too close to it.
Like, you do your thing, I'll do mine.
Yeah. But it is very recommended that, one of the things you can do with stalkers is if you feed them fish, they'll bring you scrap pieces of metal. It is not the greatest thing to do because they're still pretty hostile about it. And this is only useful for one thing, which is their tooth. Whenever they pick up a piece of scrap metal, there's a chance that one of their teeth will fall out.
Ow.
This tooth it's actually noted in your codex after you scan a stalker that this is normal, and this is just a part of the cycle of what they do. It's actually to help them get rid of loose teeth. But this tooth can be combined with glass to make enameled glass. And this glass is very useful later, because you need it to make some really high-end things. Almost everything in this game has
Ooh,
some
I can make
sort
a
of
knife.
use. Now, the survival knife is the only weapon you're going to get in the game.
Should I make the knife, or should I make the fins?
In my opinion, it's more recommended you make the fins, because the knife is situational. Now, an explanation of why the knife is the only weapon in the game. The knife is only in the game for one reason and one reason alone. It's to help you catch particularly hard to catch fish.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I did history!
Sorry about that, folks. Ashtar was talking to his folks.
What? Okay.
Everything okay, Ashtar?
Sorry about that.
It's alright. Not much else I can make at the moment.
Yeah. But as the knife entails, it's not very damaging, so it's only really used for prey fish that are really particularly hard to catch, like peepers and things like that. It's not meant for a defense mechanism in any means of the word. All hostile fish in this game have a good amount of health, and it takes quite a lot of hits from the survival knife to even down. Meanwhile, things like the fins and your
Okay, I did equip them, okay.
yeah, your fins and your air tanks are much more useful, because in the long run, they're going to help you.
Whoa, 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 whoa! No! Fucker!
Now, meet the only fish that has a chance of spawning in the safe shallows that's hostile.
Ow!
Those are called crash fish.
No shit, pardon my language.
So crash fish live up to their name.
No kidding.
The minute you get near one of their flowers, that thing in the ground you see right there with the powder.
Sulfur!
Yeah, that's used to make the thing that repairs stuff. So these flowers will only spawn in caves. They can spawn anywhere on the cave, like the cave floor, the cave wall, the cave ceiling, etc. But they will only spawn in caves.
Ashtar?
That's a shuttle bug. Don't worry about it. They're bottom feeders.
Is it supposed to be here?
Yeah, they're normally in caves. Although why it's floating around in circles, I might not know.
Ooh, gold. Lead.
Yeah. So shale is better than
Wait, is my
limestone.
inventory full?
Yeah.
No, it's not. Oh, I need to actually grab it. I'm smart.
So
Ooh,
I'll
silver.
explain the outcropping differences in a second. So crash fish are extremely hostile. The minute they detect you within a certain radius of their flower, they'll come out of the flower, and chase after you at a faster speed than you can swim. If they get within a certain radius of you, they will explode. But if they get within a certain radius outside of their flower, they also explode.
I need
Back in the
oxygen.
beta of this game, crashfish used to spawn indefinitely.
Oh, I bet that was a pain.
Yes, because you needed their powder for the same tool that you're going to use it for.
I find a lot of
But
stuff down in here.
Yeah, caves are particularly good at finding minerals, such as quartz and shale outcroppings. Now, as I was mentioning way before with limestone outcroppings, there are sandstone outcroppings as well, which are deeper. The deeper you go, the better the outcroppings and the drops of them get. Sandstone can drop gold on rare occasions, but will normally drop lead or silver. Keep in mind, though, that the deeper you go, the better they are, but the more danger you're in.
Yeah.
Just like in real life, past a certain point, your oxygen usage is going to be doubled.
Speaking of oxygen.
Yep. Another change they made from the beta in this game is that the machine voice you hear there, I'm not sure if the AI actually has a name or not, used to inform you at every interval of 25%. So it would inform you at 75% air, 50% air, and 25% air.
That sounds actually both useful and annoying.
It was quite annoying. So they removed that and only made it so it would at 10 seconds.
Tell my main. Oh. Nope, 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 nope. Ha! Fucker!
Yep. So, as AJ just demonstrated there, if you manage to get away from a crash fish in time, they'll still explode even though you're not near them.
Yep. Oh, ow! And that one, I boxed myself in.
Yep. Now, I would recommend the AJ using that health kit.
Once I get to the surface. Let me up, please. Let me stay on the surface.
So, crash fish are going to be one of the few reasons why you're going to need a health kit early on in game, or really need a health kit in game, period. Crash fish can spawn in any biome, as far as I know.
And they're annoying.
Yes.
At least they don't spawn back, you know?
Again, back in the beta they used to, so...
Look at all this cave sulfur.
Okay.
I don't mean to keep it interrupting, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
God, those things are creepy.
Again, they're called shuttle bugs. They're bottom feeders, and you don't really do anything with them. And they don't do anything to you, so... They're passive.
I literally jumped out of the water!
Now, if you notice, the crash fish actually knocked loose a few of the coral with its explosion.
It did? Where? Oh.
Yes.
Gimme, gimme, gimme.
So, when crash fish explode, if there's anything in the environment that can be damaged, such as those pieces of coral, it will actually damage them. You rarely get to see this, as crash fish are usually in caves, and the only thing they can damage is those mushrooms.
I thought I had two of them chasing me, and they both died.
Yeah. So whenever you
no, thank you.
Whenever you attack one of those mushrooms, it's sort of a screw you. They give you the spores so you can grow them, but they also hurt you.
Going back to see what I can make. Ugh. I can't believe I dodged two crash fish.
I didn't even know there was a second one.
There was. I heard them both going, and it's like, oh crap. It's like, this can be bad.
No.
Ooh, I can make glass.
Yes, you can, but why don't you check under your electronics?
I can make wire.
Yes, but why don't you also check along your personal things? You know, like gadgets you can use.
You mean the repair tool?
Yes.
Yay! I made a thing.
Now, you'll need batteries to recharge things like the repair tool and other tools like it.
I can make those a little later on.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about them immediately.
I
But the
could
repair
probably make them
tools-
right now if I wanted to, but I don't want to.
Yeah, so the repair tool is extremely useful. It can be used to patch up any damage that is done to the damage that was done to the life pod, and any damage that is done to any vehicles you might make.
I'm just making a lot of glass.
So there are vehicles in the game by that Sea Glide you saw. Sea Glide is actually a handheld. There are vehicles you actually get into,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like actual vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are attacked by anything hostile while in them or run into walls, they'll get slowly damaged. You use the repair tool to, you
Do
know,
the stuff like this.
yes. So if you notice on the display at the front of the ship with all those green letters, it'll tell you everything that is currently online and offline with the life pod. This is mostly just filler, but the life pod also comes with 3 power cells, those big batteries that you saw. If you want the life pod to have certain productions, you need these in there. So what those power cells do is they allow the radio to work, the fabricator to work, and see that health thing over there? The box with the first aid in it? It will fabricate that first aid kit every so often. But you need power for it to do that. So if you want to, let's say, make a new base, which you can do later on, you can take the solar power cells from this the life pod and bring them to the base for later usage.
Is this supposed to be flashing?
If it's flashing, you have a message.
Let's see what it says.
This is Aurora. Distress signal received. Rescue operation will be dispatched to your location in 9
That's a lot of 9s.
hours. Continue to monitor for emergency transmissions from other life pods.
Okay.
So, all we know about what happened is that the Aurora got shot down by something unknown, and now shit hit the fan.
I'm gonna put some stuff in here to get out of my inventory right now.
Yeah. So the game will always start you with 2 flares, 2 water bottles, and 2 nutrient blocks. The water and the nutrient blocks will always fill up half of your water and health, and food, respectively. And the flares are means of lighting up certain areas around you.
Yeah.
They're not very particularly that useful, and they also are kind of a bit of a pain to make since you need cave sulfur to make them.
Why do I keep doing that?
But if you don't have any alternative option, like a flashlight or something like that, then they're nice.
I should get some food because I don't want to use those nutrient blocks if I don't have to.
Yeah, nutrient blocks heal probably the most amount of food in the game, barring one thing. They're like the second most amount of food in the game.
What's the first?
It's a fish.
Come on. I want you. I want to eat you. Let me eat you.
Whenever you cook a fish, so you can eat fish raw, cooked, or cured. It is honestly recommended you don't eat them cured. If you eat a fish raw, it'll reduce the amount of water you have by a certain amount, and will increase your food by a certain amount. It won't be much since it's raw and not really prepared. But certain fish will actually increase both your food and your water. There's only 2 fish in the game which do this, and there's only 1 fish in the game where it will give you food with no water penalty.
Come here, I want to eat you.
Cooking a fish will make it so that it gives you more food, and also a bit of water. And honestly, it's the better option in the long run, since it will give you large amounts of food with a little amount of water as well. Curing a fish will give you just as much food as cooking one, but you need salt to do it, and it will decrease your water by quite a bit. There's no reason why you should cure a fish.
But wouldn't it last longer?
Fish, anything that you cook, does not rot. There is no time limit for food in this game. I don't know particularly why they have the difference between cooked and cured fish because of this. But in all honesty, I'm thinking it's just so that there's a diversification.
Yeah. Okay, it's not flashing.
Now, as I mentioned before, there's also some plants you can eat. So the creepvine will give you a small amount of food and water, but only the creepvine, if you eat too much of it in too fast, will cause you to have inexplicable blood loss. It's not entirely sure why you have it, but you get it, and you lose a bunch of water. And there are other plants you can eat as well, which will also give you food and water, and unlike the creepvine, they don't have the inexplicable blood loss. But the creepvine is the easiest to find because there is entire forests of the dang thing.
What is that?
That's brain coral. So what this coral will do is it will, every so often, emit 3 bubbles of air. Each bubble of air will give you a certain amount of air. It will do this indefinitely.
Like that?
Yes, like that. It'll emit these bubbles indefinitely, and it will never run out. Later on, you can get I think you can get samples from them, but I don't think you can grow them. But later on, you can use those in games.
Hello, ugly.
That's a sand shark. They're going to be the second, either the first or second hostile creature you encounter. You either go toward the red grass reef, which is where AJ is right now, or the kelp, the creepvine forest.
I've never seen you before. Come back here. I want to catch you.
So, the safe shallows is bordered by the barren land around the Aurora, the creepvine forest, and the red grass shallows. Depending on where you go first, you will encounter one of 3
Oh no!
enemies.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
If you go to the creepvine forest, you'll encounter the stalker. If you go here, you'll encounter the sand shark. And if you go toward the Aurora, you'll encounter something you don't want to.
Something that made me crap my pants the first time I played this game.
Yep.
By the way, what is this?
That's a spadefish.
It looks weird.
I mean, you're on an alien planet. Things are not going to look the way you expect them to.
This is true. This is true. I'm afraid to go down. Are those two fighting?
Yeah, sand sharks will not get along with anything in their territory.
I'll just take this quartz. Bye.
The other hostile fish you'll encounter in this area is called the biter. They're small, so you can kill them with your survival knife, but they're annoying. They don't do a lot of damage, but they can still swarm you.
What are you?
Reginalds. So the Reginald, in particular...
Oh my god. Give me a second to try to live.
So the Reginald in particular
This
is
so ugly.
a fish that will give you quite a lot of food upon cooking it. It's almost as much of a nutrient block, if not more.
It's ugly.
Again, you're on an alien planet. Don't expect things to be too pretty sometimes.
Oh, I wish I could go deeper, but I'm afraid I'm going to lose consciousness.
Yeah, so oxygen, as you see, isn't very nice about the time limit it gives you. Even later on, when you have the higher end tanks, oxygen is not going to play nice.
Mm-mm.
So the main reason why it's also not a great idea to go down particularly deep is because, again, I think it's at 100 meters or something like that, maybe a little more. Your oxygen usage is doubled.
Which is interesting. Stretch.
It's effectively a way of gating you to say, you can't go down here on by just yourself. So, as I mentioned, there are vehicles. Those are the only way to go deeper than 100 meters.
But don't you need, like, this to get it?
Yes, and that's also a pain in the arse to get.
Arse. You said arse.
I know I did. So, a lot of the higher end things like the mobile vehicle bay, the sea glide, and some things like that take a lot of materials, and some materials that are real hard to find. So, the game is a little slow going, and this can turn off a few people.
Battery
From the
and
game.
titanium. Battery is copper and an acid battery. Or
Yeah.
acid mushroom. Which I can get down here.
So,
Boop.
in my personal opinion, those who have any sort of issues around anything oceanic, really, or feel like this game, you know, the gameplay's not for them because it's slow, I wouldn't recommend this game.
I need to go find some titanium because I turned mine into ingots.
That's a newbie mistake.
I'm not that much of a noob.
It's one of the mistakes you can make when you're new to the game.
Uh-oh. You see it?
Yeah.
I want to go
So-
down there.
So, as AJ's pointing out, there is a crash flower right there, with a crash fish hiding in it. There are ways of... Well, that's one way. That's not a good way.
I almost got away from him.
So, if you knife crash fish, they'll explode anyway.
Gotcha. Sulfur.
Really, my best advice to you is, if you see a crash flower, just leave it alone.
Yeah, I brought that on myself.
Yeah.
I just want
So that-
oxygen.
So that symbol you're seeing up above...
Up in the right-hand corner?
Up in the right-hand corner, or near the top of the right-hand corner, means that there is currently a radio signal that AJ has not listened to.
I'm going to. I want to come down here first.
This will happen quite a bit, because there are a lot of radio signals in the game. Most radio signals are filler. But a lot of radio signals will give you
Radio symbols?
Sorry. Some radio signals will give you coordinates to things. Some of these coordinates can be reached very easy. Others of these coordinates are thousands of meters under the sea.
Should I grab this?
I have no idea what that's an egg to. I think I might know, but...
I'll leave it alone for now.
Yeah. So... Yeah, no, coordinates can be assholes.
Language. Well, I mean, at least keep it PG-13.
Sorry.
Let's see what we got. Hold on.
As for eggs,
This is Life Pod 3, uploading our coordinates. We're plugging some holes in our emergency sea guide, so if we're late for the rendezvous, don't panic. Also, don't go home without us. Seriously. 3 out.
Don't go home without us. Seriously.
so creature eggs are another thing that was added later on in the game. Certain creatures will lay eggs. The only way to really tell what an egg belongs to is to let it hatch. Some eggs are very distinctive of what creatures have laid them. Other eggs are kind of hard to tell what creature they belong to, like the red egg you saw in the cave.
Yeah.
Certain creatures will,
Oh yeah. I forgot
whenever you
about
hatch
that.
a creature in a container,
Mm-hmm.
the creature will always be passive to you, no matter what it was. And it will always stay at its juvenile state if it's a creature that is quite big. The only problem with this is that the minute you release this creature, there's sort of an invisible timer, depending on when they turn into adults. If you release this creature after a certain amount of time, it'll immediately turn into adult and attack you.
Seeing blue on blue, not really. There it is. My thing.
Yeah. So you can change the color of waypoints. This is to help you be able to see things better.
Like that.
Like that.
That's easier for me to see.
Yeah. They give you a choice of 5 colors, and if you want to legitimately use them for things like this, they are very helpful for distinguishing things between each other.
I feel like I have to sneeze. Yeah. Oh, look, more gasopods. Or gastropods?
Gastropods, yeah.
I'll take that. You leave me alone, I leave you alone. We all remain happy.
Yeah. So... I'm gonna just leave AJ here to do her own thing for a bit.
Oh, hello!
There we go, that's a stalker.
I don't want to cut it with a knife, but I will anyway. There. Now to get out of here before I end up someone's dinner. Or lunch? Whatever time this is.
Yeah.
You right there, Ashtar?
I'm fine. A little tired, but I'm fine.
Oh, that's a giant hole.
Life on this planet grows in unusually distinct and diverse.
Ooh, PDA. What are you? I got a thingy.
Now, what AJ just grabbed is something for much later.
What, the PDA or the compass?
The compass. So, throughout the game, mostly in crashed life pods, you'll sometimes find those odd blueprint chips inside of the life pods or near them. These blueprints are very useful. However, you need something that you get later on to even make them.
Well, I think if I remember right, some of them, not all of them.
Some of them, yes. Most of them.
Look, I don't even break the water, and I got full oxygen again.
Yep.
Hi, Peeper.
So this game, even though this game is very good, there are still a few issues here and there. And while they're mostly minor, I would honestly recommend overlooking them for the quality of the game.
Also, I wouldn't recommend this game to someone who gets easily seasick.
Yeah, if anyone who wants to play this game has motion sickness issues or has issues with anything oceanic in general, please just do yourself a favor and just listen to this.
Because we're trying to give as much riveting commentary as we can.
Yeah.
What was that?
That was the gastropod releasing the spores. Or the...
Gross.
Yeah.
It farted at me.
Pretty much. Except it's toxic and will actually kill you.
I know. I'm gonna need to refill my water here soon.
Yeah. So, water and food aren't as dire as oxygen because you can sort of just let water and food be on their own for a while and not really care about them until they get sort of low. There's no penalties to any of this.
I mean, you can starve to death.
You can starve to death, you can...
oh my god, the amount of titanium.
You can die of dehydration, but to be completely honest, you can just sort of not care about those meters and only drink and eat when you absolutely need to, and you'll be completely fine.
I'm trying to remember how to do things. Just give me a minute. Copper ore and... Didn't I? Oh, I need to grab 2, but I got...
Yep, so...
Let me go grab another one.
In my personal opinion, the thing you only need to really worry about is oxygen for a good amount of the game. Only really later on do you need to worry about, like, health and other things like that. Oxygen's going to be the bane of your existence for most of the game, though.
Yeah. Especially if you're playing on a low-end computer like I was,
Yeah.
where it wouldn't let you go to the surface sometimes. Let's make a battery. Yay, batteries. Which will allow me... I basically got another thing for a power cell. Okay.
Power cells are bigger batteries. You use them for vehicles.
And now I'm going to make a scanner.
So this is one of the most integral parts, most integral tools in this game. The scanner allows you to scan pretty much everything in the game and will give you a codex entry on it. While this isn't necessarily something you absolutely need
Oh,
to
wow. Look at all that titanium.
do. Yep. So while scanning everything isn't something you need to do,
Vital signs stabilizing.
there is... some of the entries actually do give you nice pointers on how the creatures work. So, certain entries on things like biters and some of the other more hostile fish, while it's risky to get those entries, will give you a good idea of how those creatures work and how to avoid them better.
Self-scan complete. Vital signs normal. Continuing to monitor.
Yeah, I need to do this. I'm going to need a few of these.
Yeah.
One more for the road.
Yeah.
All right. Whee! Am I boring you?
No.
Where do I put them, though? You know what? How long has this live stream been going on? When did I start? No, that's not right. I couldn't have started streaming 2 minutes ago. That'd be insane.
It says like 50-some minutes.
Alright, since we got the scanner and we got a few other things, you want to just stop here for right now?
That'd be a good idea. Scanner is pretty much where you're gonna want to be.
Alright. Alright. Thank you guys for joining us, and thanks for everyone who's going to be probably watching this way later on when, you know, it's posted on my channel. This has been AJ, and...
Ashtar, goodbye!
You guys have a great day. Bye!
I'm falling into the pit again!
Really, Ashtar? Bye!